birch bark. Alright, well hopefully this picture quality is alright. I may or may not have just dropped my phone in the snow. I just gotta drop something out here. So it's very silent out here today. It's about minus 10 degrees Celsius. And the woods are just perfectly still. It's just a slight falling snow, but there's not even much of a breeze out here right now. So it's very peaceful. The only thing I can hear is a few distant snowmobiles, and that's about it today. So, not quite at the cabin yet. First order of business today will be to start a nice fire, so I can boil some water so I can have something to drink, and also because it is quite cold out here for my liking today, and I'm not wearing gloves, so that'll be the first thing I'm getting started on. And then after that, I'm going to start with more chinking and mudding and filling in the holes in the cabin. I've done a little bit of work on it recently that I haven't recorded, but it's coming together quite nicely at this point. The reason I didn't record it was just because it's a lot of the same filling in holes with mud, cutting a few branches, so really it's not going to look a whole lot different today. But I'll film a little bit of it and you can see a little bit of the process of that, and who knows what else. Eventually I'll have to get to working on building some furniture out there. Maybe eventually I can even get a bed out there and I can sleep out there. Maybe I'll wait till it's not winter time, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, carrying on. So I've been using the fireplace a little bit now, and it's going pretty well. It works quite well. You can see the smoke's going up. It's actually not in the roof of the cabin here at all, so it's staying nice and clear in here. And I'm happy about that. There's only one issue I've really had so far with the fireplace, and I mean, it's not major, but it's not great. I had a section here in the back. You can see a section that's lighter colored. That was a repair that I did yesterday because some of the clay that I've covered these logs with it's dried, which is the good thing and ideal thing to have happen, because a lot of the clay in my walls now has actually just frozen rather than drying. But this is dried properly, but as well on the other side it would seem as though the logs have shrunken as well because they were live trees, so there's actually been a little bit of the clay separating away from the log, and I actually had one section where the clay entirely separated away from the log and fell down into the fire, which isn't a big deal except for there was then an exposed portion of log that began to, well, catch on fire and smolder a little bit. So I patched that up again. So far it's burning quite well. It's boiled a few pots of water now for me, so it's going well. I'd like to, in the future, get a lot more clay stacked up in here for the rest of the fireplace, so it's a thicker wall. Like, I'd love to have it really packed out at a certain point. And maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there this winter, but digging out the clay in wintertime is not the easiest thing, so I don't want to have to do too much more of that than I really have to do to, let's say, seal up the walls here. So we'll see. I think that might be a spring job, but yeah, we'll find out how the winter goes. Maybe it'll be a mild winter. So I have my pan of mud here and clay mixture, and well, honestly, it's got some leaves in it too. But I'm just using this right here, seal up all the gaps where you can see the light coming through. I've done a good portion of sealing up the larger holes with little split pieces of wood. And at this point, it's just mud work that I have left to do. So I guess let's get started. Alright, that's about it for this load. So I'll need to go get a little bit more clay now, or a lot more clay as the case may be. But it's nice because each hole that I block up gets a little bit warmer in here, keeps in a little bit more of that heat. So slowly becoming more and more indoors out here. So I'm happy about it. So I just finished my last load of chinking in the walls. It's still got several holes in it right now, but the temperature is dropping more and more as I'm out here. I think it's about -12 or -13 right now. So I don't feel particularly like having my hands covered in clay anymore at this point. So I'm just going to take a break, warm up by the fire for a bit. But it's starting to feel quite nice in here right now, so getting closer all the time to the finished product in here. So I'm pretty happy with my work today. So I think that's about it for me today. I'm just gonna take a break for a little while and warm up my hands. The clay work on a day like today is really not too enjoyable. It's actually getting colder as I'm out here. I think it's down to about -12 or -13 right now. So I'm just going to enjoy the fire, and hopefully by the next video I'll have all the chinking done. I hope to come out here again on a warmer day if I can and just finish it up, and then I can get on to other projects out here like furniture and actually getting an existent door out here because I currently just have a hole, so it'd be nice to get something like that put in. As well, I'm also working on a video right now and trying to get some footage for a trail cam video. I've been setting it up a couple different places, a trail cam that I got recently, and I've got a few critters showing up on it. Unfortunately, for the times that I've actually had it set up out here on the cabin, thus far, I haven't got anything showing up at the cabin. But we'll see what we get. I might try again, and there's a few other places sort of in the area I'd still like to try. But we'll see what we come up with. So hopefully we'll get that at some point, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds. Thanks for watching.